We'll read something by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Shri Nikunj Keli Viraduavali by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. This poem, Nikunja Keli Virudavali, is written for the great devotees who delight in hearing and chanting the glories of Lord Krishna. May Sri Radha and Krishna, who relish many transcendental pastimes in the groves of Vrindavan, bestow their mercy upon such readers. May Sri Krishna's transcendental pastimes, which instill the mellow of pure love of Godhead within those who hear about them, purify my heart. May the nectarian love of Godhead, which moved the gopis, purify my heart. May the nectarian love of Godhead, which moved the gopis, purify my heart. And may the leader of the young girls of Gokul, Srimati Radharani, also purify my heart. The greatest poets and philosophers explain that the armor's pastimes of Krishna, the dearmost friend of the very breath of the young girls of Vrindavan. The greatest poets and philosophers explain that the amorous pastimes of Krishna, the dearmost friend and very life breath of the young girls of Vrindavan, are the best of his pastimes. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and all the demigods glorify these incomparable pastimes, which are full of all transcendental potencies. In a secluded place, Krishna spoke to Radharani. "O Radha, I am famous as the most generous person. How is it then that your friends accuse me of stealing the nectar of your lips? If you think I have stolen, then I place my moon-like face before you. and you may reclaim this nectar. Please drink as much as you like until you have been sufficiently reimbursed. May Krishna, who in a secluded place joked with Radharani in this way, grant auspiciousness to us. In a secluded place, Krishna spoke to Radharani, "O Radha, I am famous as the most generous person. How is it then that your friends accuse me of stealing the nectar of your lips? If you think I have stolen, then I place my moonlight face. Then I place my moonlight face before you, and you may reclaim this nectar. Please drink as much as you like until you have sufficiently been repursed. May Krishna, in a secluded place, joked with Radharani in this way, grant auspiciousness to us. O bliss of Gokul, O expert Lord, delighted by the association of Radharani, who moves through the garden of Madhavi creepers like a graceful elephant. O playful Lord, attached to amorous pastimes. O attractor of the affectionate young gopis. O destroyer of the gopis' placid composure. O Lord, who is not bewildered by the gopis' playful contrariness. O Lord, who pierces the heart of the affectionate Radharani with the arrows of your passionate sidelong glance. O performer of limitless pastimes. O Lord, who carries the sweet insignia of Radharani's bites. O Lord, whose sidelong glance is the superlative of playfulness. O Lord, whose dark cloud-like bodily luster illuminates the dark caves of Govardhan Hill. O Lord, who delights in removing the belt worn by your beloved Radharani, who is dressed in blue garments. O Lord, who is pleased by Radharani's playful contrariness. O Lord, whose bodily hairs stand up in ecstasy when you begin the fierce amorous battle with the expert warrior Radharani. O Lord, please protect me. O Lord, whose limbs tremble with the delight of transcendental Madhurya Ras. O Lord, whose splendid beauty is the poison which intoxicates the young gopis. O Lord, who performs the pastimes in the grove filled with humming of many bees. O Lord, who is more beautiful than many hosts of lotus flowers. O Lord, who is glorified by the auspicious prayers sung by sweetly buzzing bees. O Lord, who wears a garland of lotus petals. O Lord, whose amorous pastimes delight the gopis. O Lord, whose arms have become the sash about the gopis' waist. O Lord, who mischievously places his hand That's good enough for this one here. Let's see here. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Let's see here. We'll go to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Yeah, let's see. Let's go to chapter, Madhya Lila, chapter maybe 19. It's a 19. Chapter 19. The Lord instructs Rupa Goswami. Okay. Okay. What is this? Something happened here. Okay, what is this? Okay. Something happened here that's not right. There we go. Is that right? No, that's not right either. That off there. Here we go. Let's do this again here. It's not right. February. Chapter 19. Rupa Goswami. Okay. And we'll go to the text number 78. While the Lord was crossing the river Yamuna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the glossy black water and was immediately bewildered with ecstatic love. Indeed, as soon as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the river Yamuna, he immediately made a great sound and jumped into the water. Everyone was filled with fear and trembling to see this. They all hastily grabbed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and pulled him out of the water. Once on the boat's platform, the Lord began to dance. Due to the Lord's heavy weight, the boat began to tilt. It began filling up with water and was on the verge of sinking. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tried to restrain himself as far as possible before Vallabhabhata, but although he tried to keep calm, his ecstatic love could not be checked. Seeing the circumstances, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally became calm, so that the boat was able to reach the shore of Adila and the land there. I'm going to skip a little bit. I'm going to get to this other part. Oh, yeah, okay. Raghupati Upadhyaya first offered his respects to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Lord gave him his blessings, saying, always stay in Krishna consciousness. Raghupati Upadhyaya was very pleased to hear the Lord's blessings. The Lord asked him to describe Krishna. When Raghupati Upadhyaya was requested to describe Krishna, he began to recite some verses he had personally composed about Krishna's pastimes. Hearing those verses, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was overwhelmed with ecstatic love. Raghupati Upadhyaya recited, those who are afraid of material existence worship the Vedic literature. Some worship the Smriti, the corollaries to the Vedic literature, and others worship Mahabharata. As far as I'm concerned, I worship Krishna's father. I worship Krishna's father, Maharaj Nanda, in whose courtyard the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, is playing. Yeah, I like that worship. Yeah, hey, Rupadaya, Raghupati Upadhyaya. When Raghupati Upadhyaya was requested by the Lord to recite more, he immediately offered his respects to the Lord and granted his request. To whom can I speak? Who will believe me when I say? To whom can I speak? Who will believe me when I say that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is hunting the gopis in the bushes by the banks of the river Yamuna? In this way, the Lord demonstrates his pastimes. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested Raghupati Upadhyaya to continue speaking about the pastimes of Sri Krishna. Thus the Lord was absorbed in ecstatic love, and his mind and body slackened. When Raghupati Upadhyaya saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic symptoms, he decided that the Lord was not a human being, but Krishna himself. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, Raghupati Upadhyaya, according to your decision, who is the foremost being of all Krishna's abodes? Which do you think is the best? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, of the three ages known of Krishna, no childhood, boy, and youth. Which do you consider the best? When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, among all the mellows, which do you consider the best? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, you have certain... When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, among all the mellows, what you consider the best? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, you have certainly given first-class conclusions. After saying this, he began to recite the full verse in a faltering voice. The form of Shyamasundar is a supreme form. The form of Shyamasundra is the supreme form. The form of Shyamasundra is the supreme form. You have the city of Mathura is the supreme abode. Lord Krishna's fresh youth should always be meditated upon. Lord Krishna's fresh youth should always be meditated upon. And the mellow of conjugal love is the supreme mellow. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then embraced Raghupati Upadhyaya in ecstatic love. Raghupati Upadhyaya also was overwhelmed by love and he began to dance. Vallabha was struck with wonder to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Raghupati Upadhyaya dance. He even brought forward his two sons and made them fall down at the Lord's feet. Upon hearing that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived, all the villagers went to see him. Simply by seeing him, they all became devotees of Sri Krishna. All the Brahmins of the village were eager to extend invitations to the Lord, but Vallabha forbade them to do so. Vallabha then decided not to keep Lord Chaitanya at Adi Lila because the Lord had jumped into the river in ecstatic love. Therefore, he decided to bring him to Prayag. Vallabha said, if anyone likes, he can go to Prayag and extend invitations to the Lord. In this way, he took the Lord with him and departed for Prayag. Due to the great crowds in Prayag, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to a place known as Daisameta Ghat. It was there that the Lord instructed Rupa Goswami and empowered him in the philosophy of devotional service. The philosophy of devotional service, isn't that interesting? Devotion is a philosophy. Philosophy comes from devotion. See? Therefore, yeah. So, and philosophy glorifies devotion as the greatest path. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught Rupa Goswami the ultimate limit of the truth about Lord Krishna, the truth about devotional service, and the truth about transcendental mellows, culminating in conjugal love between Radha and Krishna. Finally, he told Rupa Goswami about the ultimate conclusions of Srimad Bhagavatam. See, this is what it's about, hearing the ultimate conclusions, hearing the confidential conclusions. This is why this incarnation of Lord Chaitanya is the best. He presented the deepest conclusions of devotional service, and he preached them to devotees like Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das, and other devotees, and they wrote about them and they share that knowledge with us. See, this is all the essence and the ultimate conclusion of Bhagavatam. The ultimate purpose of Bhagavatam is basically a loving relationship with God. And then on the furthest limit of that is Vrindavan. And the furthest limit of Vrindavan is the conjugal, the Gopi Bhav, the Gopi love. Yeah. And even deeper than that, the perfection of that is Radha's love. And for a devotee is Manjari Bhav, which is the ultimate. There's nothing deeper than that, other than going deeper into these topics. You notice we don't talk about anything else really. Maybe we'll distinguish some of the various illusions in the material world from the essence of truth, the highest truth, which is love of God and devotional mellows, and these mellow exchanges, these rasas, they're transcendental and purifying the heart, give great pleasure and happiness to the soul. We can do stuff like that. See, the truth about transcendental mellows. Who knows about these subjects? Who knows really about the truth of devotional mellows? Many people in Vaishnavism, not many. There's a few groups, and they talk about devotional mellows and love of God and all that. But how many actually experience that? How many people actually relish this divine ras? Very few. Okay? But that's going on here. Devotees are learning these topics of rasa tattva, these transcendental mellow exchanges with God. The Lord's giving them the experience of a relationship with Him. Yeah. This is actually, in truth, the most desirable place to be. The most desirable place to be is where this verse is being activated, where this verse is possible to be fulfilled, and that's a very rare place right now. Okay? These are the topics where we discuss and fluff out. See, the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught Rupa Goswami the ultimate limit of truth about Lord Krishna. That's Vrindavan. That's the ultimate truth about Krishna, is his relationship with the devotees of Vrindavan. Very sweet, very ecstatic, very uncommon. So the Lord taught him about these little details. Just like we also, the Lord has given us the power to not only to relish, which is, if you can't relish these relationships, you can't teach them. It's impossible to teach this level of pure devotional service without practicing yourself by tasting these things. This stuff is so deep that you can see those who are still bodily identified, they can't. It's just like we read this morning. It's like a fish, or actually, Janaki read this in her reading. But the common people could not understand the pastimes of Lord Caitanya was preaching on this planet. The common people couldn't unless you got the special mercy. Yeah. Yeah, so and getting the mercy is not that hard. It's basically you have to associate with these kinds of devotees who are authentic, genuine. Very important, genuine, the real deal, not the raw deal. The raw deal is not a genuine person that's an associate of Lord Caitanya. If you're a real associate of Lord Caitanya, you'll have the ecstatic symptoms. You'll have the symptoms that the Lord has and his intimate confidential devotees have. If you don't have those symptoms, you are not an intimate associate, even though you may wear a dhoti and you may have rubber stamps from your group saying you're guru, or you're a sannyasi and you're dressing the part. No. You have to have the internal symptoms which have to be manifest externally if you're going to preach this. Otherwise, you'll just be talking about, like a lot of these Raganuga Sanghas, blah, 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 Radhe, but no Radhe, no substantial experience of the Radha's bhav, or devotional energy, devotional potency, with the manifestation of that the Lord's devotional potency is actually in your body, man. It's in your heart. It's in your eyes. It's exuding out of you. It's coming out of your conclusions. See, common people can't understand this because they don't believe. And part of those common people are these devotees, or they're not devotees yet. If you don't have this kind of devotion, you're not a real devotee yet. You're what's called an abbas devotee, a shadow of a devotee, just like the rules and the regulations of worship are a shadow of the real worship. See, the conch shell with the water is supposed to be your eye sockets, ultimately, pouring tears over the deity. Which could be the deity, or it could be the deity in the name, or the pastimes of the Lord. Yeah, this is where is this? Chapter 19, and this is verse 114. See, so this is what we've been given the task by Prabhupada in that lucid dream, and blessed by Krishna, who came shortly after that to my second disciple, and bless this work so that people can understand. Common people can go and get an uncommon education into what Lord Caitanya came here to experience and to share with the world. See, which are these teachings, these fabulous teachings, which reveal the highest truths, the deepest truths, the most amazing truths about the absolute truth, who God is, what he likes, how he ultimately appears, in what forms, all these beautiful, wonderful, wondrous explanations that are in Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam. See, the truth about devotional service and the truth about transcendental mellows, culminating in conjugal love between Radha and Krishna. It's very ecstatic, very intimate. Just like you going in somebody's bedroom and you're seeing their intimate dealings, which shouldn't be even seen by other people because you're supposed to be, it's very intimate, confidential. The problem is that people think that the pastimes of the Lord are meant to be not seen by other people, the intimate ones of Vrindavan and everything. Yeah, not really. The only reason not to be able to see them is because of you're not understanding them and or finding fault with them, misunderstanding them. Yeah, then it's not a good idea to interrupt the pastimes. But if you're fortunate, you get an instructor on this, the confidential pastimes, and reveal how glorious they are. I mean, look at the gopis. It says the gopis, when Radha and Krishna are having very intimate dealings, the gopis are often in the bushes watching, not wanting to disturb anything, but they're watching, like what do you call those? Peeping toms type thing. There's a word for it. I forgot the word. Voyeur, like voyeurism. That's actually bad in this world. It's considered an invasion of privacy. But with Radha and Krishna, if people have faith in them, they can sit in the bushes and watch, and it's okay with the Lord and Radha because you have faith in them. Okay? That's why even here you see, when I see a devotee worshiping the Lord or the name in ecstasy with the tears and all these things, this is very intimate worship between their soul and the Lord, doing it before the public. And people often criticize, oh, you should do this, or they misunderstand and all these things. But if you don't see it, see, we're been authorized to show it and to also preach about it, because people, you can come here, I'll explain these things to you. The Lord gives me confidence. I'm just a born idiot. But the Lord has given me the intelligence to understand how he works with idiots. You know how the elite, they look at you in the world, people, and they use them, they call useful idiots. And then the problem is they throw away these useful idiots. They think, they're idiots. We're just using the time. We throw them away. The Lord doesn't throw away his useful idiots. Isn't that nice? To be a useful idiot and not thrown away if you come over to our side. Come over our side. Gohari's a useful idiot, and we'll make you a useful idiot too, that the Lord won't throw away. He'll keep you around. The elites won't. They use you and throw you away like a dirty dishcloth or a paper towel that gets soiled. You don't need this anymore. Throw it in a trash can. So you can either be a useful idiot out there and they throw you away, or you can be a useful idiot here. Very useful for the Lord. And no, I'm just a fool. I'm an idiot, fallen soul. And the Lord will use you. I can use a guy like you that's not glorying in their false idea, thinking there's something great. They know that my greatness is working through them. See, useful idiot. You admit, I'm just an idiot, a fool, and the Lord is using, that is undeniable if the Lord's really using you. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught Rupa Goswami the ultimate limit of truth about Lord Krishna. The truth about devotional service, the truth about devotional service. See, the ultimate limit of the truth about Lord Krishna, and that's his Vrindavan pastimes. It's the ultimate limit of his pastimes is culminates in Vrindavan. One is very fortunate to meet a Vrindavan devotee who has that kind of mood and that kind of worship. Because only from them can you understand Vrindavan truly. Yeah, where's the cheerleaders, man? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught Rupa Goswami all the conclusions he had heard from Ramananda Roy and duly empowered him so that he could understand them. Isn't that amazing? You have to be empowered to understand these conclusions. See, in other words, you have to hear them from a bona fide source. See, Lord Caitanya heard them from a real devotee, a highly elevated devotee, Ramananda Roy. And then he explained them to somebody who had faith in him, Rupa Goswami. See, and duly empowered him because, otherwise you cannot understand these conclusions, even here. If you hearing all these confidential things I've been speaking for 5 years with you guys, and you're understanding them, you are empowered by the Lord to do it. Otherwise, the Lord is very pleased with you to allow you to understand. Because look at these big gurus. Look at these big sannyasis in ISKCON and Gaudiya Samiti and Gaudiya Math. They don't understand this. They hear me speak and they think, what's this guy's crazy? But you're also crazy because I am crazy. I am a madman. And you are a madman also because you believe my words are true. The Lord has given you this kind of madness so that you can understand what I'm talking about. That's the real disciplic line. It's a line of madness to the world, but sanity to devotees. This is completely sane to realized souls. If Rupa was here, or Sanatan, or Prabhupada, they say, yeah, which is right on. But if you get their followers, like these false followers right now, we're going to make you real followers if you want. But you false followers, you don't understand. And that means because you didn't get the mercy. But, Fanny understands. Amy understands. Some other devotees understand. River understands because they're empowered by the Lord to understand. They're empowered by the devotee to understand. The devotee is pleased that you have faith, that you're developing faith in this path, and you come around. See, you're associating here. You're getting purified. You're going through the tests. The Lord is pleased, and I'm also pleased. I'm very happy to see people coming here for 5 years and getting the gift of the Lord, this Holy Spirit worship, real devotional worship, not ritualistic, not external devotion, not varnashram dharma. No, just heartfelt, pure love for that transcendental Lord. Love for his name to the point of tears. Love for his pastime to the point of laughter and tears. And all these beautiful symptoms that the Lord is living in your house, that the Lord brought himself and his devotees brought to this planet. And we are bringing again forth. Who's interested? Anybody interested out there? Well, the only way you'll really be interested is if the Lord gives you his blessing. I'm doing my part. I'm preaching publicly now. I'm preaching all over Facebook. The ball's in Krishna's court. I'm here to preach to those who are taught by God. Yeah, well, I'm taught by God. I don't like your preaching. No, you're not. You're not taught by God, because if you're taught by God, the Lord will reveal to you from within. See? That's a super soul. See, there's two. One is the real spiritual master, the real associate of the Lord. The Lord has claimed that devotee and uses that useful idiot to deliver you out of illusion. And then that Lord is also in your heart, but are you in touch Most people aren't that I've seen. I'm definitely in it. See, I'm just preaching to the choir here, but hopefully the arrow hits some other devotees. They're looking for the path, man. You know, I'm not putting a bushel, I'm not putting a shade over the real path. I'm out here. They're shouted from the rooftops, man. Come here, get bhakti, man. Here's the real path, man. Save yourself a few lifetimes, man. Get it now, man. The prasadam's on the table. Yeah, wake up there, Kamakanta, out of your slumber. This is the prasadam, is the word. The sound vibration is your food. That's what Prabhupada was bringing to this world. Janaki, are you on Twitch or something? No, that's Facebook. You paired your device. Okay, great. Yeah, this is the food, man. No, there's no time, man. Klaus Schwab is coming up your buttocks, man. He's ready to look in there, find out what's going on. He wants to hook you up, chip you there, Kamalakanta, and everybody else like you. You know, you think prasadam is just the food you eat over there at the temple with all that sugar in it? No, you got to eat this food over here. We got the real sugar over here. We got honey, man. We don't deal with white sugar, man. We deal with honey. Pure honey, organic, thick. That's in the word, man. It's in the vibration, man. It's in the ecstasy. It's in the conclusions here. That's right there. Yeah. See, by entering the heart of Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowered him to ascertain properly the conclusions of all truths. See, properly, the conclusions of all truths. See, all essential truths. What is the conclusion of all essential truths? What's the conclusion of Guru Tattva? Get the real guru, for God's sake. Get the self-realized soul, the one who knows Krishna, the ecstatic devotee, the one who cries when they chant Hare Krishna. I think that's a real essential conclusion for ISKCON to know, and for Gaudiya Math and Samiti. Is there anybody out there want to be taught these kind of conclusions? The essential conclusions about Ras, it's all about, developing love of Krishna in one of these particular mellows, your particular eternal identity as a devotee, a particular type of devotee, and your relationship with the Lord forever. That's an essential conclusion. Who's teaching that? Well, I am. We're Raghunuga Sangha. We're purebhakti.com. Yeah, you can't teach this unless you're in your relationship with the Lord, unless you are an ecstatic, intimate associate of the Lord. You can't teach this. You can't even teach Guru Tattva, because practically all of you so far have not gotten a real guru since Prabhupada. You can't teach what you don't know. You can't say, well, I took initiation from Prabhupada and then I went to the God Brothers. Oh, yeah, but didn't Prabhupada tell you what his God Brothers were? If you got a real guru and you made it to love of God, you don't need any advice from anyone, because you got it. You got the mercy of your guru. How dare you guys become gurus, man, without having that mercy of being a self-effulgent, realized soul? How dare them? What babies, man. Children. Come into our hippie van over here. We'll teach you a few things. You imagine that, Janaki. You've entertained these guys, these so-called gurus. What is it? Before they're a self-realized soul, they become, yes, they take disciple. Oh, Guru Dev, it's just a baby game, man. For babies, both blind followers and blind leaders, man. Hey, the bottom line is this is the essential truth, man. If you're a real deliverer, that's a real spiritual master. Don't dare not to take disciples and have them bow down to you unless you can really deliver them. Obeisance is only for God and his real devotees. Hey, that's the conclusions of Prabhupada's books, the confidential ones that they don't know. See, essential conclusions about Guru Tattva, that's it, very important. Rasa Tattva, very important. Have to learn about the difference between your love of dog and love of God. There's a difference, my friends. I see people who've loved their possessions, their dogs, their children, and their husbands and their wives too much, and they're manipulated by them. Have you ever seen that? That's how it works. But if you love God, you can have a husband, a wife, a dog, anything, and don't manipulate you because your love is for God. He's set you free from the love of the world. You become more everything in balance. You may like your dog, okay, fine. He's a, soul needs some mercy too. But this infatuation people have with their animals, I mean, that's why see, these are shackles for the people of the world. Srimad Bhagavatam teaches, Lord Brahma teaches in the Bhagavatam. He says, if you don't become a devotee of the Lord, I mean, devotee, a real devotee, not an external devotee, not a semblance, a boss devotee, a real devotee that has real devotion, unless you don't become a devotee of the Lord like that, then your relationships in the world, see, what you relate to in the world becomes a foot shackle. You become too much bonded with that stuff, and you come back again. See, the devotees, they have relationships in the world, but they're loose, man. They're not bound by them. They're bound by their love for God, the transcendental God, not the New Age God, not ascended masters, gods, the demigods, not these so-called angels up there who they might be fallen angels tricking you, not those guys. No, real devotees like a real Jesus. Real devotees like Lord Caitanya and Nityananda and their followers, see, that kind of freedom is in them, see, in their conclusions, in their understanding of the Lord. See, if you want real freedom. See, if you don't get this kind of instruction, which is rare, and we're doing it here, you take another birth. You're coming back, man. Yeah, see, Fanny, see, that's an experienced devotee getting the results of the mercy. See, that's the witness program. Everybody could be like that. If you learn from these kind of devotees. If you're not having these kinds of things and symptoms and all, learn from the devotees, hang out with them, do some service to them. Learn how to be a real devotee. She's a devotee of a devotee. Those are the real devotees of Krishna. The Lord gives himself to those devotees. See, these conclusions are very true. Lord Caitanya says, those who claim to be my direct devotees are not my real devotees. Those who are the devotees of my devotees are my real devotees. How do you know? Well, look at this. Fanny and Amy, Lilita Ganga and Johan and Janaki. See, because they're real devotees of a real devotee, a useful idiot, but has the mercy, the Lord gives them himself. He gives them confirmation. He gives them ecstasy. He gives them transcendental happiness. He gives them the happiness of the true kingdom of God that lasts forever. That's how easy it is. They can teach you better than I can teach you because they're examples of being real disciples. And it's not so hard to be, you think, oh, being a real disciple, I got to be like how Narayam Raj said and Radhanath, you got to be superstar devotee. You got to be expert in renunciation, expert in chanting your 1 lakh a day, expert living in the cave like Radhanath. Oh, renounce and all that. And then after you work so long like them in many lifetimes, then you can get this prema. And Gohari's preaching, oh, no, you can get this prema, just you get the mercy of Lord Caitanya. Let me preach to you the conclusions of Chaitanya Charitamrita and the glories of the Panchatattva when you hear it in disciplic line to get prema in this life like these devotees I'm speaking about already have. We don't believe because Narayan Raj says after many lifetimes, we don't believe. Too bad for you, man. Let them, you sit and watch in the bleachers. You go watch in the sidelines. And my friends and my disciples are playing ball, delivering people in the world by delivering the real example that you can't do. You don't believe in the mercy of the Panchatattva. Therefore, you croak like frogs when you give your classes. I roar like a lion, and my persons who got the mercy here, they roar like lions when they give classes. They are empowered by real bhakti. You guys are just, wannabes. But you can everybody, humble yourselves. Yeah. Is there any humble guru out there? Or are you all infatuated with the false egos? Unless you can demonstrate more ecstasy than you see here, more conclusive understanding you see here, you need this. And if you don't, you got a big false ego, man. You got a chip on your shoulder. I'm knocking it off. You got to get purified, man. You got to get your trauma. You got to see people want name and fame. They want to be important. That's all false ego. That's all because they've been traumatized by Maya. Makes you think in the wrong way. She conditions you to think wrong. Oh, I just want to be acknowledged. And I see all these psychologists. Oh, we'll acknowledge you and all that. And you get jerked around more by Maya's jerking you around all over the place. You come here, you're going to get purified. You'll get your traumas out of you, man. You'll come here and you realize, oh my God, my happiness is in glorifying Krishna, is acknowledging Krishna and his devotees. What was I thinking? How stupid that was to think I needed to be acknowledged and I have to cultivate that my whole life. You come here, you'll learn really quickly. That's not it, man. That's a false identification. You come here, we'll expose it, get rid of it. And then you'll be in Krishna and Krishna will be in you and you'll be eternally happy forever and ever and ever. You'll be jumping rope down the street. You'll be having fun, man. You'll be living in a nice motorhome like this. Nice bus. Oh, see how nice I keep my bus, man. Doesn't that look nice? Every pillow is in perfect. It's always like every day you'll see I keep house. Man, every day you'll see everything is in complete order. I learned from Janaki how to keep everything in proper order. So you see here, the flowers are always there. Everything is right, man. Colorful. Come on, get triggered. We'll get purified. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the beautiful thing about getting triggered, or it doesn't matter. The Lord will give Himself. You just keep relishing bhakti, man. By and by, it'll all work out. Don't have to do it independently. It just, it is what it is. You just keep on going, tasting this bhakti, and all will be well. The Lord will make up the difference for our conditioning, how much is left and all. Don't worry about that. You don't have to worry about any of this. Sachi thought, she thought, oh, you moved to a new place, new location. Yeah, it's magic. He made him an experienced devotees whose decisions correctly agreed with the verdicts of the disciplic succession. See, that's what it's about. That's why I preach like this. And you know what? Because the masses of devotees, the masses of the gurus, they don't agree with the conclusions of the disciplic line. They're afraid, if they do know, they would be afraid to preach them, because then they'll lose their guruship and they won't have any disciples. Oh. See, by the mercy of the Lord, you can preach the conclusions. See, that mercy is this love of God, real, authentic love for Krishna, transcendental ras, gives you the insight, the understanding, and what you say agrees with the conclusions of the disciplic line. That's the secret of our power here. That's the secret of how people are delivered in the real line. You see, people aren't delivered in those lines. It's not real yet. You want the real line, you got to be delivered. And you have to have if you have disciples and if someone's delivered, they will have the symptoms of liberated souls. Liberated souls chant the holy name with great ecstatic devotion, with the tears and the laughter choking up, loving that name, man, loving these pastimes and showing that love if they're preachers. If your guru isn't doing that, he's not delivered. If the disciples are not doing it, you're not delivered, and neither is your guru. So you both should come here and get delivered, because that's how we roll here. That's what we do here. We teach all about those conclusions that Lord taught Rupa Goswami. We are again teaching them for your benefit and the benefit of the world, so they can engage in this wonderful mercy of the Lord to chant the holy names with great ecstatic devotion. Thus, Rupa Goswami was personally empowered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that's what it comes down to. If you have the mercy of a real guru, you become empowered by the Lord. Just like Jesus said, when those persons got the mercy of Jesus, and he told them, he said, when you go up, you won't have to carry any notes. The Lord, the Father will be speaking through you. Your testimony will come through you by the grace of the Father, by the grace of the super soul, the Lord in your own heart. See, you'll be the instrument for the Lord's grace, the real truths and real ecstasy, that kind of stuff. So Bhakti Tom says, am I delivered? Well, are you an ecstatic devotee? Why should I have to tell you? You heard what I said? I said, if you have the symptoms, are you attracted to the holy name? Do you chant the holy names with great ecstatic devotion, with the tears and choking and stuff like that? Do you chant the pastimes like that? What I've seen with you is the symptoms are developing, but how strong they are, you have to see. Can take some time. So what do you think? Are you delivered? Is it possible you may go away? Is it possible Sadhguru might attract you again, or some other path, or something in the world? Just ask these honest questions. But where the stage I see that you're manifesting there, it's wonderful. You know, you're becoming attracted. You're getting experience of at least the rays of bhakti. You know, coming from the devotees, you're picking that up, and you're getting it's helping you become more and more steady, more and more clear. So, what do you think? Are you delivered? Is Gohari, am I delivered? You can ask, well, are you delivered, Gohari? Well, the Vedas say I am. My experience shows, the Lord is giving me transcendental feelings like the Vedas describe, is giving me conclusive understanding that agrees with the verdict of the revealed scriptures. I would say so. I mean, it's not like I'm delivered because I'm so great. No, the mercy of the Lord is here. It's working inside. It's given me those kind of qualities, to be able to preach Lord Chaitanya's real mission in this world. I would say so. People are getting delivered by this preaching also. This is a napkin sept, exactly. Well, we don't just use napkins. This is a handkerchief sect. We wave the handkerchief. See, what we need to do is see some white handkerchiefs from the opposition out there, from those in Maya. Start wave the white flag of surrender to these teachings and to this ecstatic worship. Whoever does will be very fortunate, like us. See, people don't know what is good fortune. Well, we're here to teach you. Hey, man, ecstatic worship, like you see here, is great fortune, the best of all fortune. It's a pearl of great price, magnified 1,000 times. It's winning the lottery 10,000 times. That's the preaching that needs to be. That's the truth. Okay, I gotta stop talking for a little bit. I gotta move around, get some air. Whew, okay. Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you for coming. Yeah, you're welcome there, River, and everybody else. Hare Krishna. Hmm.